Hello everyone, and welcome to another horror movie review art time-lapse thing with me, Angela of Morbid Heart Designs. We're continuing down the classic rabbit hole and talking about Frankenstein from 1931. Now, I hadn't seen this movie before this review, and I've read the book many years ago. So I was really excited to go back and visit this classic. This is a drama horror sci-fi movie. It's directed by James Whale. It is written by John L. Balderstone, of course based off of the book by Mary Shelley. And there's a few other writing credits, but we won't go into all of them because there's like a ton of names. Check out IMDb if you are interested. It does star Colin Clive, Mae Clark, Boris Karloff as the monster. And I really liked the credits in the beginning, you know, back in the days when the credits were at the front and there were so few people involved that it didn't take very long. They put the monster ? As to who was playing him. I thought that was a fun little clever thing. Of course, every horror fan loves the Frankenstein design. It's very intimidating and it's so counter to the actual Frankenstein character who's honestly afraid of so much. As far as flow of the movie, there are some scenes that just didn't flow or feel right that bothered me a little bit, quite a bit. But it wasn't enough to completely ruin the movie. It was just a few scenes here or there in the middle. They could have done without them, in my opinion, and it would have flowed better. But then it'd probably be less than an hour of a movie. I don't know. How long was this movie? An hour and 10 minutes. I do like how they showed Igor and Dr. Frankenstein as brute assholes. They're not good people. I mean, the real monster in this, in my opinion, is Dr. Frankenstein, not who we call Frankenstein, the monster. It's always confusing when we talk about it, but when we say Frankenstein, everybody knows Frankenstein. I do love the castle set, just as a side note. Freaking loved it. Oh my god, I want to go play on that set so bad. I think Frankenstein is a super tragic character, so misunderstood. I think that's one of the appeals of him as a character and why he's so beloved over so many decades. Oh my god, the wedding scene with the villagers and the music went on for fucking forever and it was chaos. This is another example of a scene that just didn't need to happen or could have been shorter, and it just kept going and the music was all over the place and I was like, oh my god. It was so hard to watch that part. I would definitely have edited the shit out of that or changed the music at the bare minimum. It did not help with the chaos, and I don't know if what they were trying to depict with that scene. It didn't feel like it needed to be a chaotic scene. It was a scene of celebration, a scene of happiness. Could have just left it at that. It does take a while for the story to really build up. I might have felt that way because of how many scenes I felt were unnecessary in it. It's hard to say. But it was an older movie and it's true to its time, so there's that. There's a shrug. You can't see it because you're watching art and listening to me, but there's a shrug. I enjoyed the last half of the movie way more than the first half. And I don't know if I'm stupid or not, and I kind of don't want to admit this, but I'm going to. The costumes were really confusing to me as far as the time period. I mean, Frankenstein is an old novel with a lot of Victorian influences, yet some of the costumes made me feel like there was flappers in like the 30s, but then there were other things that felt Victorian. So freaking confused. But it ultimately doesn't matter. But I wanted to throw that out there. I was really confused with the costume choices. Also, as a side note, having seen this now, I already loved Monster Squad, but I uber love Monster Squad even more after this. It's just so much freaking fun. Oh my god, I love it. I really did want to rate this movie higher. It's an extremely influential movie. I mean, all these classic horror monsters are very influential in the genre and monster movies. I wanted to rate it higher, but there's so much that I didn't like about it that I debated between 2 and a 3 because it is such an iconic movie, especially, like the little girl scene, carrying the body through the village, the riot, chasing the monster. I'm gonna go with a 3 out of 5 Zombievers. This movie is still beloved to this day. Moral of the story, you know, don't judge a book by its cover. Maybe the hot guy is really the asshole, and the guy that looks like a monster and is constructed from dead pieces is actually a kind, good person who doesn't understand the world and hasn't really been given a chance. You just never know. Alright, so now that's all done. Thank you to my patrons as always, and from my dark heart to yours. Have a wonderful day, and please don't die before my next video.